Today we're bringing you all of the latest monitor news and updates in our monthly roundup video, a recently added feature on our channel. Thanks to everyone who left comments and questions after our first one that we trialed last month. We do love reading those and responding, so do keep them coming. Stick around until the end where we'll be covering off some of your common questions and all of the topics that everybody seems to be asking us about and asked us in last month's update. Anyway, let's jump right into things. September has seen the rise in new monitors offering a standard aspect ratio 5K or an ultra-wide 5K 2K resolution. Let's start with the Philips Brilliance 27E3U7903, which features a 27-inch IPS LCD panel, and this is a model that we'll be reviewing very soon, in fact, on our main website. The significant increase in pixel density and resolution compared with 4K delivers an enhanced sharpness, greater detail, and that's great for any professional users who are creating and editing content, or anyone really who's just looking for amazing visual detail. It offers a resolution and pixel density that's especially important as well for Mac users, classified by Apple as a Retina resolution and supporting optimal scaling from Mac OS. That's something that we discussed in a lot more detail in our recent video that's linked below, where we looked at this new Philips monitor in a lot more detail. As well as the very high 5K resolution, there's a lot of other great features which will appeal to those professionals out there. That includes Kalman-ready hardware-level calibration, multi-view technology which lets you work seamlessly with multiple inputs, and a smart KVM switch function which allows the switching between different sources using the click of a button on your keyboard. It also has an AI-enhanced auto-framing webcam with Windows Hello support, which is great for virtual meetings, and the screen even has a gloss coating, which looks great and provides an excellent picture quality and a really good image. We've got a detailed overview and feature on this Philips monitor already on the channel if you want to know loads more about the benefits of 5K and all of the features and specs of this monitor in particular. A full review will also be coming soon on our main website, so do keep an eye out for that in the near future. This display is being released in the UK and Europe very soon, but not in North America at this time. Acer have also announced a new 5K resolution monitor and showcased it at the IFA exhibition, or IFA, in Berlin recently. It's the Acer Nitro XV270X, which is a 27-inch size screen again, built around an IPS panel, and on their screen there's also a dual mode support as well, which allows you to double your refresh rate from the native 72Hz up to 144Hz by dropping the resolution to 1440p. So that may be useful to some gamers out there. Their screen is more aimed at general users and gamers rather than the professional segment that the Philips screen is aimed at. That's due to be released in Q1 2026. Moving on then to ultra-wide options, the Samsung Odyssey S40 FG75 offers a 5K 2K resolution and a 21:9 ultra-wide aspect ratio. This screen uses a 40-inch sized VA panel with a 1000R curvature and 180Hz refresh rate. It offers some mid-tier HDR600 capabilities with support for HDR10 and HDR10 Plus content, and it's got some familiar features like CoreSync RGB lighting on the back as well. This one is available now. Acer have also announced an equivalent ultra-wide 5K 2K monitor at IFA recently with the Acer Nitro XZ403CKR. A bit of a mouthful of a product name. That's another 40-inch ultra-wide screen with a 5K 2K resolution, 1000R curvature again, and 180Hz refresh rate. Their model also offers a dual mode function though as well, which allows you to boost your refresh rate up to 288Hz by dropping the resolution to an ultra-wide 1080p. The Acer model is due to be released in Q1 2026, we're told. Let's have a look then at all of the latest OLED news too. LG Electronics launched 2 additional models in their UltraGear GX9 gaming series recently. Both the LG 34GX900A and the LG 45GX900A are identical in specs and everything except their size. The 34GX900A is, you guessed it, 34 inches in size, whereas the 45GX900A offers you more real estate at an ultra-wide 45-inch size. They're both built around LG Display's WOLED panel technology with a steep 800R curvature, 3440x1440 resolution and 240Hz refresh rates. For HDR, they're certified under the VESA Display HDR 400 True Black tier and offer a peak brightness of 1300 nits. These brightness capabilities are thanks to the panel's MLA Plus technology, but being a previous gen OLED panel, they don't quite offer the same capabilities as LG's new 4th gen primary RGB tandem panels that deliver impressive specs and performance. Talking about 4th gen OLED panels, this segues us nicely into news about Acer's new Predator 27-inch monitor, due to be released in the first half of 2026. This one's 27 inches in size, built around an LG Display 4th gen primary RGB tandem WOLED panel. This packs a punch as well, with a lot of high-end features and specs, including 1440p resolution, but a native 540Hz refresh rate. It also includes a dual mode function, allowing you to increase that even further, up to a whopping 720Hz if you don't mind dropping your resolution to 720p. That may be useful to some people in certain gaming situations. This Acer screen is an alternative to the Asus ROG Swift PG27 AQ-WPW that we saw unveiled at Gamescom in August this year. The Acer model is due to be released in the first half of 2026, which will likely be a fair way behind Asus's offering, which is due to be released in Q4 this year. If you want to know a load more about 4th gen primary RGB WOLED panels, then we've got a video that talks all about the technologies linked below, as well as 2 reviews of 2 recently announced and released monitors in the 27-inch space. That will give you a really good view of how this new panel technology performs. You can find our review of the Gigabyte MO27Q28G on our channel, which offers a 1440p resolution, 280Hz refresh rate, and a standard matte anti-glare screen coating. That's a great screen, and it's due to be released globally from the 30th of September, although on-the-shelf availability will vary by region. We've also recently reviewed the Asus alternative. That's their ROG Strix XG27AQ-WMG. That's got the same 27-inch 4th gen WOLED panel, but this time with a glossy screen coating. That's due to be released in Q4 soon as well, and that gives you a choice between a matte anti-glare offering or a glossy offering, depending on your preferences. Check out our full reviews of both of those models and loads more information on 4th gen WOLED, how it performs and all of its specs and features. That's all linked in the description below. For those of you keeping an eye on our availability tracker of the high refresh rate QD-OLED monitors, the 500Hz models, we're pleased to see that this month, that slowly but surely some of these are now coming to market. Those that have started to appear this month are the Gigabyte Aorus FO27Q5P in some regions, and more widely, MSI's MAG272QPX50, the latter of which we've reviewed in full recently as well, so do check that out if you want to know a lot more about these new screens and how the 500Hz panels perform. If you're one of the lucky viewers who've already got your hands on one of these 500Hz monitors, we'd love to hear how you're getting on, so leave us a comment in the comment section below. We're hopeful that more of those 500Hz QD-OLED monitors will appear in the near future as well, but if you want to stay up to date, keep an eye on our tracker that's on our website, and that's linked below too. If you don't want to break the bank with your monitor purchase, then there's also a good selection of new LCD displays from IAMA and from Acer, which have been announced recently, that will deliver you some decent specs at a more affordable price point. We'll start with IAMA then, who have released 3 monitors in their G Master gaming series, and these are all available to buy now in some regions. There's 2 models from IAMA. There's the Gold Phoenix and the Red Eagle model. They're both 32 inches in size with a flat format and feature fast IPS technology panels. They've got a 1440p resolution, and they're pretty much identical in specs apart from their refresh rate, with the Phoenix model offering a slightly higher refresh rate of 240Hz as opposed to the more modest 180Hz that's on the Red Eagle model. Another new display from IAMA is an upgrade to their Red Eagle 43-inch size display. This is a large format monitor offering a 4K resolution, a VA technology LCD panel, and it now features improvements in specs including a 0.2 milliseconds MPRT response time spec and updated connectivity options with HDMI 2.1 and USB-C data ports now added. These new IAMA monitors are available to buy now in some regions, so they could be a good option if you're looking for a more budget-friendly monitor or you're looking for an LCD option instead of an OLED. Acer also announced 4 new displays in their Nitro gaming series. These are a bit more expensive than the IAMA models that we've just discussed, but are still available at a lower price point if you're looking to keep costs down. But if you still want a few extra features, then these could be worth a look. Showcased at the IFA exhibition in Berlin this month, there are 3 models which all feature 27-inch IPS LCD panels, but offer a range of different specs to suit different gamers. The Nitro XV275K V6 is an update to their previous V5 model, offering a 4K resolution, 180Hz refresh rate, and it also boasts a dual mode function which allows you to double that refresh rate up to 360Hz by dropping to 1080p if you want. So if you're switching between games which are high speed for high frame rate or games that might require higher visual details, then that might be a useful feature. Also worth a mention is this screen's 576 zone mini LED backlight, which offers impressive HDR capabilities on an LCD panel, as well as certification under VESA's Display HDR 1000 tier, offering a peak brightness of 1000 nits. The Nitro XV273UW1 is another 27-inch IPS panel with a more modest 1440p resolution and a fairly unusual 275Hz refresh rate. This one has more basic edge-lit local dimming, so it doesn't offer the same high-end HDR support as the previous model, but that's reflected in its lower price point and HDR 500 certification. In other news of note, the ViewSonic VX27662K Pro 4, an exceedingly large model name. This monitor was announced, and although it's not yet known when this one will be available, it does offer a higher refresh rate of 425Hz on a 27-inch sized fast IPS panel with a 1440p resolution. Philips have also announced another new screen in their Evnia series this month. This is a 27-inch fast IPS panel, and it comes with a 4K resolution and 160Hz native refresh rate. There's again a dual mode function that allows you to double your speed to 320Hz by dropping resolution to 1080p. Another notable feature on this model is the apparently AI-enhanced Ambiglow lighting feature on the back, which adapts to the colours which are shown on the screen and creates a more immersive experience that a lot of people like. This one's due to be released in October this year. Also, a special shout out goes to the newly released glossy coated LG 27GX704A, which is a 27-inch WOLED panel with a 1440p resolution and 240Hz refresh rate. This is the first monitor offering by LG Electronics to feature a natively glossy screen coating from that LG Display WOLED panel, as up until now only ASUS have dominated that glossy screen market. So it's nice to see that LG Electronics are bringing this to their collection as well. It should be noted that this is using a 2nd gen WOLED panel instead of their new 4th gen primary RGB tandem panels, and it offers a 27-inch screen size, 1440p resolution and 240Hz refresh rate like I've just said. It's an alternative to the ASUS XG27AQDMGR, an updated Gen 2 model that was showcased by ASUS at Gamescom this year. That's again using an older panel but now with an updated and improved glossy screen coating. Anyway, it's nice to see other vendors now starting to explore glossy screen coating on WOLED panels too. In case you missed it, we've also published several new reviews over the last month. That includes reviews of MSI's new MPG 274URDFW E16M. That's a 27-inch size IPS LCD monitor with a 4K resolution, 160Hz refresh rate and dual mode support. That also includes an impressive high-end 1152 zone mini LED backlight. That's a really interesting option if you're looking for a higher end LCD screen as opposed to an OLED monitor. We've also recently reviewed ASUS's new True Black Glossy ROG Strix XG32UCWMG. That's a 32-inch 4K WOLED screen with a 240Hz refresh rate and dual mode 1080p 480Hz support. The new glossy screen coating though gives you a great option if you're after a 32-inch 4K OLED monitor and want a WOLED panel instead of QD-OLED. Check out that review, link below, and it's got loads of testing on the new coating, comparisons with 4th gen WOLED and all that kind of stuff. That one's starting to appear now to buy in many regions. A couple of other recent pieces of content worth noting that we wanted to mention include a couple of articles that we published on our main site. The first one explores and compares OLED and LCD brightness. That's looking at reasons why OLED monitors are actually brighter in real usage than their specs might suggest, and why you can't just rely on basic luminance specs and measurements when you're comparing between different panel technologies. We also look at Samsung Display's new True Bright certification scheme, an approach to help articulate OLED brightness in a more meaningful way. The second new article delves into various modern monitor features that you've probably seen featured and talked about a lot nowadays, but which you may not know much about at all. We looked at USB-C connectivity, KVM switches and picture-in-picture, picture-by-picture modes, explaining what each of those does, their use cases, and talking about what you should look for when you're choosing a new monitor. Both of those new articles are live on our site and linked in the description below. We also wanted to cover off various questions that we get asked all of the time and that appeared on last month's August news update. So here goes. Lots of people have been asking about whether we'll see 4K resolution options in either 32 inches or 27-inch size with a 4th Gen WOLED panel technology to go along with those few 1440p options that have been announced so far. We don't have any firm details on this yet, but we would expect to see 32-inch 4K options certainly appear at some point before too long. And we do know that LG Display are also exploring 27-inch size 4K WOLED panels too. When we get any more information on either, we'll definitely share it of course, but perhaps we'll see some news on those at CES in January, as that's the next main exhibition coming up. G-Sync Pulsar seems to be another technology that we get asked about loads. Originally announced all the way back in January 2024 and then showcased at Gamescom last year in 2024 as well. That was showcased by ASUS at the time, and we've been told by them that it has not been dropped. It's still in development, and we do expect to see more on this perhaps in early 2026 at CES again. Nvidia have also recently confirmed to us that it is still a live project and promised some updates and news in the near future. So again, as soon as we know any more about that, we'll let you know. Lots of people have also asked about both smaller and larger sized OLED screens as well. In terms of smaller 24-inch sized OLED panels for esports gaming and competitive gaming, there's been some rumours recently that we've seen that these may start to appear next year. Samsung Display have told us that they don't have any plans for QD-OLED technology panels in this size at this time, and we've not heard anything official from any reliable source or any monitor manufacturer about anything in this size sadly so far. It seems like it would be an untapped niche, so we'd love to see some super high refresh rate options launched in that size. A 24-inch 1080p OLED monitor with a 1000Hz refresh rate, for example, could be a dream monitor for a lot of professional and esports gamers. You'd no longer then need to put up with all the limitations and problems of TN film panels. Likewise, a lot of people have been asking us about larger format 42-inch and 48-inch sized OLED monitors. All of the manufacturers that we spoke to about this at Computex this year, who'd previously released screens of this size in the early days of OLED monitors, told us that they were not looking to produce any new options, unfortunately. It's basically a dead segment now for monitor type options, it seems, while everyone is now focused on the wide range of traditional monitor sizes and the panels instead. We'll continue to see some TV options in those sizes, I'm sure, although not a lot has really improved or changed in the last few years in that size either. But sadly, it doesn't look like any are going to be designed as desktop monitors in this segment. So those are some of the common questions that you all asked last month. Please do leave us new questions in the comments section below and upvote others that you see that you want to see answered, and we'll do our best to try and tackle some of those in next month's update. So there you go, that's our monthly roundup of all of the latest monitor news, articles, reviews, and all the information you need to know right now. As always, if you want to know more about any of these, then we've got links in our description below for the news pieces, reviews, articles, and so on. Everything's linked on our main website and on our channel. Please remember to hit subscribe if you'd like to stay up to date on all of the latest news and roundups in the future, and all of our other content, of course. Give us a quick like as well if you've enjoyed this video, that would be really appreciated. Thank you for watching, we'll catch you next time.